welcome. Welcome to Saturday.
Yeah.
With Eric.
Is that the new name of the show?
Yeah, the proposed new name of the show. Friends, thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Saturday with us. It's 10 a.m. on Beaver County Radio, and that can mean only one thing. On Saturdays, it's time for Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. And we're here, set up rather good today. Matt, wouldn't you think?
I would say so,
yeah,
yes.
Things are where they're supposed to be. Video cameras are in the right spot. Our Facebook Live feed on both channels is working somewhat well. I won't say exemplary, but somewhat well. To those of you who have indeed tuned in today, thank you so very much. We are on show number 55.
Wow.
Actually, that's wrong.
No.
Last week was 55. This is 56.
Oh.
My goodness, the weeks are running in together here. It's incredible. But we've crossed the year threshold, which was a big thing for us. Friends, this show is indeed about, quite frankly, having a nice, relaxing time on Saturday morning, talking a little real estate, talking a little baseball once in a while, and anything that's on your mind. I am, again, your humble host, Eric McKenna. I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors out of Swickley and Robinson. I work in Allegheny, Butler, Washington, and most importantly, the great county of Beaver, which is the host of this fine radio station, Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. And luckily for me, the station management here gives me the opportunity to be with you every week for 2 hours from 10 to noon. That's right, on Beaver County Radio, and have the opportunity to reach out and meet so many of you, interact with you, answer questions in regards to real estate, being a realtor, all the things that encompass the world of residential, primarily real estate here in Beaver County and beyond. I'm joined every week by my very good friend and superior person behind the big board, Mr. Matt the Durzik. How are you, sir?
Good. It's been a good week, and
Good. We're going to get into that in a second. I want to ask you how it's been on AM Beaver County.
Yes,
correct.
I
got it right this week.
Yeah.
But we are on show number 56, friends. 56. They've let me do this for 56 weeks.
Yeah.
What is wrong with these people? Matt's like, I don't know. That's a great question. We're also live on my Facebook channel. If you happen to be listening and you want to tune into the show on Facebook, you just simply log into Facebook. Under the search bar there, just type in Eric McKenna. You'll see me come up twice there. You'll see my just personal page. We're streaming there. How are you? And we're also streaming on my business page, which will show up as Eric McKenna - Your Personal Realtor. Either one, you can interact with the show. The ways to participate in the show are, as always, the two most famous numbers in all of Beaver County, 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. And of course, if you're on Facebook, Matt will be monitoring it somewhat. I'll be monitoring it here. I actually have enough technology to do that now. Yeah, we'll monitor you here. For any questions or concerns, by all means, reach out to us here. I see some people who are already filling up on the Facebook. Thank you so much, Jeremy and Eleanor and Mark and Michelle and Kurt. What's up, my friend? Good to see a brand new client of mine. Curtis Jones, his nickname Cut Jones. Good to see you out there, my friend. This has been a tremendously good week in real estate, and we're going to get into that as well. We're here to answer your questions. Again, it's 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. And I always enjoy meeting the people of Beaver County, discussing real estate with you. I had the pleasure this week of 2 new clients in Beaver County, one in Freedom, one in Monaca. Both of them derived from this show. So it's been really fruitful for me personally, obviously for my business, but very rewarding to be able to reach out and interact with so many people. And again, if you have questions on real estate, that's what we're here for. If you have questions on how to hire a realtor, things you want to look for with a realtor, I'd be happy to speak with you directly on that. The way to reach me anytime directly regarding the work I do, even if you just have questions, that's fine. It's 412-613-4466. Again, it's 412-613-4466. Call or text me. And of course, this show is sponsored by my website, which is calleric.com. Again, that's calleric. Eric is with a C. So calleric.com. I encourage you to visit that website. You'll get a little feel for my philosophies on real estate, how I operate my realtor practice, how the advertising and the marketing we do for our home sellers, and the specific ways that I work with my home buyers in a very honest and ethical way at all times to get you to your goal. the easiest and the most simplistic way possible. Because again, real estate, no matter what you may feel out there, is truly not that complex. There's just a lot of moving parts, and it's a process. So it's my job as a realtor, whether you're selling or buying, to help you move through that process as easily as possible. That's what a good, ethical, solid realtor will do for you.
Simple enough.
Simple enough, right? Yeah. So Matt, talk to me, my friend. I don't know what it was like on your end of the hemisphere here, but it was a crazy, busy, but wonderful week for me.
Yeah. So what I hear, and I gotta say, I gotta give you props for taking on the hard task of selling real estate in freedom, because I mean, nothing against them, but I just, living around here for my entire life,
sure,
and driving by there over the last couple of years, I just wonder how these guys work things out in the wintertime. I just don't know how they do it. It's such a hilly area.
Extremely.
And you're just thinking to yourself, well, if all I have to do is, just pull out of the driveway, hit neutral, and I'll be down on 65 in no time.
I always wondered that too. And it's funny, I have yet, in the years I've been a realtor, actually been in freedom in inclement weather. I've not been there yet. I have a feeling now I'm going to be very shortly. So yeah. I've heard all those stories, and obviously it's got to be challenging up there.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But there's challenging areas everywhere. I reside, as many of our listeners know, and Matt knows, I reside in Coriopolis. That was my hometown. And my wife and I returned many years ago, bought the old Victorian home that we kind of always would, we'd walk by as kids and go, wow. We ended up buying that house. And, it's the gift that keeps giving. It's a heck of a lot of work, but we're back in our hometown. And the point of that message is Coriopolis is an extremely hilly town as well. Matter of fact, the whole darn thing sits on a hill, essentially.
I see.
So I kind of grew up with, Main Street and Montour Street and Maple Street, all these very, very steep and sometimes dangerous roads. And a lot of them are brick, which, Freedom in Rochester and all these neighboring towns know all about that. Yep. A lot of brick roads, and that can get very slick in the winter, so obviously more care is needed there. But good point. Does roads and accessibility have anything to do with home value? And yes, it does. It's a little component of the entire picture of a value of a house. So it's and that's something that what we oftentimes talk about, Matt, is or people will call in and they'll say, okay, what's the number one thing to look for when you search for a home? And again, with real estate in general, it's one realtor's opinion, or one website's opinion, or Realtor.com's opinion, or Zillow.com's opinion. It's just an opinion. So for me, generally, as I've stated many times, even if you're looking for a home that does, you don't have children, you don't have school-age children, maybe your children are gone, maybe you don't have children, the school district still, in my eyes, should be number one, or if not number one, number two. Primarily because it has a lot to do with resale value. Now, as I'm told many, many times, and sometimes I'm told this by first-time home buyers, and I always have a big Cheshire grin on my face because I understand, but when you're in your 20s and you tell your realtor that you're finding your forever home, because that's a big catchphrase now on the HGTV world, the forever home. So when I hear a younger buyer tell me that, I always smile, and hey, it could be. There's a possibility you may get this home and you may live your entire life there. The odds of that are very small.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you the percentages, the mathematical percentages from every database that I've ever seen out there from all reputable websites indicate that you will not live your whole existence there. So knowing that at some point in time you may sell that property, we have to emphasize that the school district really has significant meaning. So as realtors, we also have a very difficult job at times because this is something you may not know, Matt, but there's a lot of information that we cannot provide directly to our home buyers or our home sellers for that matter. And that is our opinion. And that goes to crime rates, quality of school districts, and a few other areas. Our opinion should not be uttered to a client. And it's tough because I really engage with my customers. They end up becoming great friends of mine. They really do. But at the same time, what we have to do is we have to direct you to the web, basically the internet or some other source, which in this era of the internet is much easier. We can direct you to the internet to do a little homework on your end.
Yeah, I agree that it's a lot easier to get access, but
Mm-hmm.
the question is, and this is something we talk about all the time
Absolutely.
on AM Beaver County, is the trustworthiness of what you're finding online.
There's no question about it. Absolutely no question. And it's us to try to steer you in the right direction. I tend to, when a young client comes to me oftentimes, they want to look up school district ratings. I don't poo-poo or I don't discount what I see on Zillow or Realtor.com or some of the bigger websites. I'm not saying that information is inaccurate, but I'm saying if you're going to put yourself in the best position to get accurate information, you kind of want to go as close to the source as you can. And as much of us don't like government websites are generally where you need to go. So I send them in directions of government websites where the actual raw data numbers are compiled and put together. Not that we always trust in government, but that information tends to be the de facto standard. Now, oftentimes, to Zillow's credit, to Realtor.com's credit, to other websites' credits, they do pull the data from reputable places. So I'm not saying you're not getting inaccurate information, but you're absolutely right. In this era, on a broader scale of fake news, we are justifiably, and I feel positively now, suspect of a lot that we read and we see on the web. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I think it's an era that its time has come. We cannot take everything we see on the web as verbatim. We have to check the source. But in this instance, I do kind of refer, in most instances, my clients to government entities there for school ratings and for crime ratings. And again, it's difficult for realtors who really, because we care, generally most of us care very, very much about our clients. I know I personally do. They become great friends of mine. And my sphere of friends has grown exponentially just through being a realtor, which is, and you hear, don't mix friendship and business. That's baloney. That's malarkey. When I owned Boogie Street, my clients were my friends. Some of my best friends ever came from that business. Likewise, being a realtor. There's nothing wrong with earning a friendship through good business.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. So when you view a client as a friend, as someone you want to care for, it's hard not to give your own personal opinion. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and I'm sure every realtor faces this, but when I get asked, hey, is that a good school district? Well, yeah, according to government ratings, that's been a high rating school district. How that compares to neighboring, the next question is, how does that compare to this one? I send them to the web. If they ask about crime rates, crime ratios, crime areas, the level of crime in a certain area, I have an opinion, but I can't legally provide that opinion. The last thing I ever want to do is steer anyone toward a neighborhood or away from a neighborhood. Steer someone to a school district or not. It's against the law. I'm not permitted to do that. And it's a tough thing because, again, why they're hiring me is to give my best advice, to give my opinion on a lot of things that they're inconsequential in the legality standpoint, meaning what has been my experience with these types of homes, or if I walk through a home and I happen to see a basement that has a wall that's tilted, or I happen to see that it looks like there's water encroachment in the corner. These are things that I need to point out to them. Those aren't opinions, those are my experiences, based on my experiences. That stuff's fine. But when it comes down to anything that may slide or push or nudge my client to a certain neighborhood or anything, we are not permitted to do that. So it's a fine line we walk all the time. But to get back to your point on freedom, it's a challenging area in terms of topography.
Yes.
put it that way. But if a house is marketed correctly, regardless of the obstacle, I say this: if it's marketed correctly and it's priced correctly, it will sell. And that is my job. That's what I do.
It is.
That's what I do. All right, we're going to head to our first break here. If my producer can do that for me.
Sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to wet my whistle, and we're going to be right back with you. We have a nice show today. We're going to talk about a kind of a difficult subject for me, and maybe some of you will have some feedback as well here on Beaver County Radio. And I'll explain that all on the other side of the break. This is your personal realtor, Eric McKenna, on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA, along with my great producer, Matt Durzik. We will be right back. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Excellent feedback. Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Remaxed Advanced Realtor Eric McKenna with CallEric.com and host of Your Personal Realtor on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I really hope you are enjoying today's show. Friends, did you know that I can be your personal realtor? That's right. If you're looking to list your home or buy a new home, call or text me today at 412-613-4466. That's 412-613-4466. Or send me an email at sold@calleric.com. That's sold@calleric.com. I just love it when listeners become clients. So why not contact me today and let me put my social media advertising to work for you. Together, we can reach your real estate goals. This is your personal realtor, Eric McKenna, with Remaxed Advanced Realtors and calleric.com.
Witches and goblins and ghosts, oh my.
Oh my.
If it's nothing short of the scariest place to be this Halloween, that's the annual New Brighton Halloween Parade. Perfect for kids and the whole family.
WBVP and WMBA will be broadcasting live at the parade on Wednesday, October
one thing I do want to
25th
say.
from 6 until 7:30
It has to do
p.m.
with
Join in the
certain
fun.
area.
Come dressed or just
We're not
watch the
necessarily-
parade. That's the annual New Brighton Halloween
Talk
Parade.
about
Wednesday, October 25th.
That's probably one of the funniest
The New Brighton Halloween Parade is brought to you by
It's,
J&J's
about,
Craft Bureau Home, Tacos
Mr.
Auto Salvage, D&G Rentals, 68th Female Restaurant, Hallowed Grounds, Brighton Music Center, the Merrick Art Gallery, RS Belco Credit Union, Dr. J. Funkhauser, United Croatian Club, the Beer Falls Beauty Academy, the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, Bargain Breaks,
I don't think
Marvel's
it's a
Restaurant and
lawsuit. I
Tavern,
think
West
it's
Banco, Frank Hackle Insurance, Nautical Academics
I don't
Captain
even- I don't even know
School,
it's the
Delhon
people,
Auto,
like, involved
Butler
with
Gas
this
Products,
or
Brighton
doing it. I
Health
think
Mart,
somebody
Flower
out
Pot
there
Garden Supplies, Napleton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and Beaver County Radio, WBVP and WMBA.
We'll come to that right away.
It's Yankee Trader, where you can buy, sell, or trade your items weekdays at 1 on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
Okay, friends, we are back, and thank you again for joining us here on Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. I'm a realtor with Remax Advanced Realtors out of Swickley and Robinson Township. I serve Allegheny, Butler, Washington, and of course, the wonderful county of Beaver, the host of Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Can you believe they let me do this every week, man?
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but it is so awesome and so, in the vernacular, so cool to be here. I do want to talk a little bit about some great sponsors and people who make this show go. First and foremost, our good friends at Frags Tags. That's Frags Tags in Coriopolis. It's for all your title, notary, and transfer needs. You can contact Frags Tags at 412-264-3018. They're in the heart of Coriopolis. Lifestyle portrait and family photographer Miss Dawn Morris. From toddlers to preteens to graduation and beyond, let Dawn capture the special moments of your family's life. What she does with color and her composition is amazing. You gotta view her work at gypsysoulsphotography.com. Again, that's gypsysoulsphotography.com. Contact Dawn for a session today at 412-337-8348. Our favorite go-to mortgage agent, that's right, Miss Leslie Raymond with Union Home Mortgage. She's my go-to mortgage agent. Her number is 412-719-5673. Leslie is scheduled to be on this show in just a few weeks. That's going to be a phenomenal show. Very much looking forward to letting her answer questions and discussing, in general, the process of getting a mortgage. It'll be a very informative show. Very much looking forward to that. NMLS number 138287 and PA license number 29666. There you go. Matt Pia and Steve Kowalik from Division 9 Home Inspections. That's right, Division 9 Home Inspections, my go-to home inspector, one of the very finest in the valley, hands down, end of story. If you have questions on your house, if you want a home inspection, just because you want a home inspection, you want an owner's manual to your house, you want someone to come through and you want to look at that house in every regard and tell you the quality or any potential, I don't like this word, deficiencies that exist with your home, Matt or Steve is where you want to go. You can reach Matt or Steve at 412-715, and I can't read it right now, 8123, or visit Division, the number 9, Inspection realtor.com. This show is also sponsored by my very good friend and owner and proprietor of Big Bang Comics and Collectibles on Broad Street in Swigley. That's Big Bang Comics and Collectibles. Visit Dave Bishop there and get your inner nerd out. He's got all the goodies. And Dave calls in usually around 10 after on the second hour of the show, which he affectionately named the Power Hour. Dave will call in with his Diamond Dave's Deal of the Week at Big Bang Comics. It's usually a pretty heavily discounted item there, or a collectible at the show, or at the store rather. And we look forward to Dave calling into the show. You can visit him again, Big Bang Comics and Collectibles in Swigley, or you can call Dave at the store at 412-259-8742. And last but never least, I want to talk about roofing. That's right. If you have any issues with your roof, maybe you've got a leak or you suspect that there's some tiles pulling up, or let's just face it, sometimes we just know we need a new roof.
Yeah.
And there's many people you can call, and there's great reputations and there's not so great reputations out there. Let me tell you about a great roofer, and that is Hope Roofing. H-O-P Roofing. Proprietor Hamilton Hope has over 20 years serving not only just Beaver, but also Allegheny County. He has worked in this valley for a long time. His work is exemplary. I can tell you, friends, he's done roofs for my family. My father was a contractor for a long, long time. Hamilton was his go-to roofer. Hamilton Hope Roofing, 412-264-7598, 412-264-7598, or visit hoperoofingandgutters.com. Hamilton will take care of you, and he will be a guest on this show in the very near future. We're going to talk all things roofing. Again, going to be another great, informative, content-driven show. And there you go.
Awesome.
Those are my sponsors for your personal realtor.
Yes.
Not bad.
Yes.
So Matt was, as he was waving to me as I was coming back into the studio, he has something he wants to discuss, and I always love Matt's input on this show. I like even more of it.
Well, you know, usually we talk about a couple of things like what happened on AMA.
Absolutely. Right.
One of the more fun moments about the week was myself and Pat Septak, our great news director,
Yes.
discussing one of the items of news that he had, which was a piece of real estate in Pittsburgh, particularly the Clark Bar, which is going to, I guess, have a new wing, but it's that they were trying to name it the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood Bar and Grill.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that.
And people were, I guess there's a group out there that is not going to be okay with that, but I guess they can't use the name.
I did see something briefly. Is it the Mr. Rogers Trust? Is that who is kind of protesting that? Or I know a cease and desist was executed, I believe, on the name.
Well, his widow, Joanne, Fred Rogers' widow, has not said anything on the matter.
Okay.
But reality is, I think, I just don't get it.
In what way? Talk to me.
Well, I'm just thinking, why would you want to drink a beer while thinking about Mr. Rogers? Mr. Rogers takes you back to your childhood. You start thinking about your childhood while you're drinking, I'm going to say about at least half the time. That's not going to be a good combination for your psyche.
No, it's not. And that's a very good point. And I will tell you, as somebody a little older than you, who actually Mr. Rogers was a humongous part of my childhood.
Yeah.
I often would laugh with my mother that maybe Mr. Rogers was the babysitter for me, the TV show. But ultimately, I guess on the broader perspective would be this. Let me ask you this before I even answer this, because this is going to tie right in. Did you happen to see General Kelly's, or retired General Kelly's speech this week?
I did not see that.
Okay. Regardless of, obviously he was defending the president in regard to the whole snafu of the phone call with,
Right.
Okay, I don't want to get into the politics of that. But a small portion of what the general said in that speech really resonated with me. A lot of what he said resonated with me, but a small part of it did. And he was basically lamenting, Matt, that there was so much of society that's not sacred anymore. And what I mean by that is decency and civility. Can we just leave some things, be reverent to some traditions, or be reverent to certain acts of decency and kindness in society? When I think of Mr. Rogers and everything that man portrayed in that particular show, And of course, the political part end, it will come in by some people, oh, it was on PBS. I don't care. I don't care where it was. It could have been CBS. It could have been anywhere.
Yeah.
The point was, it existed. And that man went, there's some very good YouTube footage of Mr. Rogers sitting in front of Congress on a congressional hearing,
Yes.
asking for his money, or for the money for that show. And if you ever want to see something interesting, look that up on YouTube. It was in 72 or something. Mr. Rogers was on behalf of PBS, was basically imploring Congress to provide the money for PBS and for shows like his. Anyways, what that show represented, especially here in Pittsburgh where it originated, where it was filmed, Mr. Rogers and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, to me, is a treasure. It is a social treasure. It's a national treasure. So, on the bigger picture, and for what that show stood for, I couldn't agree with you more. Why would you want a bar to be attached to everything the wholesome that show was? I find that to be a travesty. Now, the ins and outs of the legality of it all, hey, listen, I own trademarks. Boogie Street Guitar is this trademark. Would I be upset if someone's opened up a bar somewhere or a guitar store called Boogie Street Guitars? Absolutely. So you have to go things by the legal way. But on the big, broader conceptual that you're bringing up, absolutely. What were they thinking? What were they thinking?
Yeah.
I
mean, the only thing I could say is that, the place where they were having this would be in the Clark Bar area, where the one place is right in downtown Pittsburgh. So you're probably not going to get a lot of... basically what I'm going to try to say is not a dive bar. But still. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have $10 in your pocket or $100,000 in your savings account. Alcohol does things to you. And certainly not things that resonate with the aura of Mr. Rogers.
Exactly.
Especially after 3 or 4 of them.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think it just was in poor taste. I'll just leave it at that. In my opinion. I'm not saying these are bad people that are starting the bar. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just stating that what that man and what that show, that whole show, all the characters, all the wonderful people that work behind the scenes to make that show, and Fred Rogers was very complimentary to his entire staff at all times. That was an entity. He was the centerpiece, but that was a whole entity. What that meant to America, to the families of this country, to parents who raised their children in that era. I mean, I was born in 66. By the time I recognized that show was 70, maybe? 69, 70, 71, 72. Mm-hmm. That was a very instrumental part of my childhood, as many people in my generation it is. And yes, when I first saw that, I thought, wow, what are they thinking? Yeah, what do they think? So I'm guessing on AM this week that had to be a topic of conversation.
Well, it was for a little bit. It was very fun because... we made our cracks about what that would even entail, and the one cool thing that I will give Pat credit for, he did say it would be kind of cool if around the bar they did have a trolley that served you your beer.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
at what cost?
Yeah, at what cost? But I mean, wouldn't it be cool just to have what about a regular restaurant? How about a restaurant that didn't serve alcohol?
There you go. Now that I can get down with.
Okay, and then you'd have a trolley one, maybe not to serve your food, but you'd have a kind of trolley.
Yeah, that would be.
But the trolley would go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? And you had the big stoplight. Remember the red, yellow, and green? Yeah. You could feature the props and all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, not bad, huh?
No, not bad at all.
There you go. Okay, so before he shoos me away to another break, the topic I want to talk about today, and I encourage you again to call in here and discuss if you have anything relevant with real estate. You don't have to speak on topic today, but if you have something to do with our topic at hand, we'd love to hear from you. The numbers are 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888. The topic we're going to discuss is, it can be a little sensitive.
Yeah, just a little.
Why it may not be a great idea to feel pressured into using an agent/realtor, I'll just say a real estate agent, that happens to be a family member or a friend that is either brand new or kind of does it part-time, doesn't take it too serious. Somebody that if they weren't a friend or family member, you wouldn't consider. But feeling the pressure to hire them because of that relationship. And I know a lot of us have been there. I've been there before I was a realtor. I've done it. So let's vet out why it might not be the best advice it would be the best in your best interest, because you still have to sell your home or buy a new home. Why it might be better to hire a professional that you don't know as opposed to hiring a family member, as awkward and uncomfortable as that conversation may be when you tell them you're not using them. So,
right.
Okay, friends, you're listening to Your Personal Realtor here on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. Of course, I am your host, Eric McKenna, Realtor with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors out of Swickley and Robinson Township. We're here every Saturday from 10 to noon. And, I was a big breath there. My producer Matt Dursick here with me every week. We're welcoming your calls in on the other side of this break. But right now, we are headed to a break, and I promise you we will be back, indeed, with more real estate talk. Thank you. Yeah. And I thought that too, like it was a bar, Mr. Rogers. Imagine Mr. Rogers was here.
No. End of story. No, you don't imagine.
You're absolutely right.
Welcome to Huntington. How can I help you?
Hi, I may have accidentally overdrafted my account. What can I do?
As a Huntington customer, you get a 24-hour grace if your
Just
account
imagine
is
people
overdrawn.
just like cursing up
Make
a
a deposit by
storm.
the end of the next day to make it right. Then we'll
being
waive the
inside
overdraft
each other
fee.
because
That's perfect.
some guy looked
Do
at their
other
girl
banks
the
do
wrong
that?
way, and
Let's call one
all of a
and
sudden
find
they're
out.
crawling.
Can you imagine?
All of a sudden
Thanks
you
for
get like
calling
the
bank
backdrop
that
of
cares
Atlanta
that
make
you
believe
think
behind it.
we
It makes
care
no
about
sense.
you.
Hi, so if I overdrafted by mistake,
I think the
what
joke
can I
we
do?
made on the
I'm
air
here
was,
to help.
or I made was,
It's
what's next to
$35
Sesame
fee,
Street Strip
and
Club?
you're
I mean, come
done.
on.
Oh,
$35.
could you imagine if that was
Can I
next?
just put more money in to cover it?
I can save
That was-
$35 for you.
Someone would
Don't
do
worry,
that.
we'll take good
Somebody
care of
would
It
it.
try to
actually,
do that.
technically speaking, it makes a little bit more sense.
Most banks
Because I
say
can
they
imagine,
care, but Huntington
women
is the
going up
only
there with the
bank that has
costumes on,
24-hour
and
grace
she
if you
reveals the
overdraft.
head,
It's
the
just
rubber
another
head, and
night
all of a
you're
sudden it's
looking
like,
at.
hey,
Welcome to
brunette.
Huntington, one of
I
Money
can't even
Magazine's
think.
Money Magazine is
I can't
registered
even
trademark
vet
of
that in my brain.
24-hour
I
grace
can't.
does not apply to return fees.
I can't.
Learn more
I
at
can't do it.
huntington.com.
Yeah, sadly enough, I can.
Oh my goodness. I
From
can't do that.
kickoff to the coaches' press conference, see
Yeah,
our
I can't
Steelers
either. I
game
can't
day.
even.
Antonio Brown right down the gut.
Who playing?
Along
Cincinnati.
with Joke and Craig Whitley, we bring you
It's
every
Cincinnati,
game and all
Pittsburgh.
the coverage that keeps you up to date with everything black and gold. Right here on the Pittsburgh Steelers Football Network. The crowd is enjoying every minute of it.
It's an old-fashioned rivalry at Heinz Field this week as the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Coverage begins at 2:25 here on Beaver County Radio, and kickoff is at 4:25. Local coverage is brought to you by Bowser Hyundai of Chippewa, the Medicine Stop Pharmacy, Town Square Restaurant, Moon Township Automotive, Friendly Federal Credit Union, Community College Beaver County, the Beaver Falls Municipal Authority, Pride Transportation, Electric Garage Door Sales, and of course Beaver County's home for the black and gold since 1948, 1230 WBVP and 1460
Are the football
WMBA.
games on both stations?
Sometimes there are. So that's really the only time we do
724-843-1888 or
divide is when there's football games, basketball games.
774-774-1888.
Have to do
Those
one
are
of
the
these
Beaver
stations.
County radio
Aside from that,
numbers
it's-
and probably the most
pretty much
famous in all of
99%
Beaver County.
simulcast.
Turn that up, buddy. You know, my producer never fails me. He never fails me. At least once a show, I gotta have the Todd Rundgren song.
Yes.
I gotta have it. It's awesome.
Putting the boogie in Boogie Street.
Putting the boogie in Boogie Street, that's right. Friends, thank you for rejoining us here, and thank you, as always, for making us a part of your Saturdays. It's here's that word again. It's very humbling. No, really, it really is. It is. Thank you so much again. This is your personal realtor, Eric McKenna, with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors, and I am here every Saturday from 10 to noon. Talk real estate, answer your questions, have a lot of fun, beat up on Matt a little bit. You know, we gotta give Matt a hard time once
What's
in a
that?
while. Hey, I did it with Frank for about the first year. It's your turn now, partner.
Fair enough.
And today we're going to talk about a subject that could be a little dicey. And I would love audience participation, obviously, naturally, on Facebook Live, which we're getting that already, and by calling in here, 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. Okay, the topic at hand today is why it might not be a good idea to feel obligated to hire a certain realtor because of a friendship or because of a family member, if you're not confident that that person is an experienced or an engaged, or even if they even know what they're doing, the point being, how, and because we all have that. I mean, I bought a car once from a cousin because the cousin was a brand new car salesman in a dealership. Big mistake. Big mistake. I had a front porch concrete poured by a buddy who had lost his job, good friend. He started a concrete company because he had little experience in that and thought this was a good idea for him. I felt bad for him. I was his first client. Big mistake. Big mistake. When it comes to real estate, I can tell you, it's even more dicey because real estate has a lot of moving parts, whether you're selling or whether you're buying. And you need a realtor that's going to provide you the service, the true service, dedication, and attention to make your life easier, to make the deal easier, to get the house sold per market price, to help you adjust that price if maybe you're not listed at market price,
right?
To help you make decisions, to help you see things clearer. And that comes from experience, and that comes from having a realtor who's engaged in the market every single day. And I'm sorry if this sounds a little blunt, okay, but I will put my services up against anyone doing it part-time or doing it as a hobby, because I hear people saying, oh, I'm a real estate agent as a hobby. I cringe when I hear that. I cringe. Did you go to see a doctor that's doing it as a hobby? Are you really? I mean, do you want to go to a dentist that's just kind of practicing as a hobby? Every time they feel like it.
Yeah, I mean,
how's your root canal going to go?
Probably not well.
I'm just saying to you. And again, I'm not equating what we do to any kind of medical procedure. I'm not even equating it to a legal procedure. I mean, I wouldn't hire a part-time lawyer for anything. And unfortunately, I've been through a few divorces, and I've had some other business entanglements over the course of my life where I needed good attorney work. And I can assure you, it never crossed my mind to hire my buddy who just got out of law school. I mean, I wish him the best, and I want him to get with a practice as a junior attorney and learn. I wish him the best, but for my circumstances, I needed, and I paid for, an experienced attorney. My point, friends, is I know Matt's on the cusp of coming in here. Just hold on 1 second. It's not that you're mean-spirited. It's not that I'm telling you not to take care of your friends and family. I want you to be loving and kind to everybody in this world, especially those dear to you. Absolutely. But sometimes when you're mixing business or something as important as maybe selling the most prized asset in your portfolio, or acquiring a new home to raise your family, you can't take chances with either inexperience or unattentiveness or someone who's just doing it as a hobby. Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have someone who not only has a passion for it. Well, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as saying they need to have a passion for what they're doing. It'd be a good idea.
Correct.
But you need someone who's at least knowledgeable in what they're doing and experienced in what they're doing, because when you get right down to it, passion aside, you don't have someone who's knowledgeable and experienced in what they're doing, it's going to be a bad time.
It's going to be a very bad time, and unfortunately, I witness it all the time, every day. Agents who are just not taking the practice seriously, not intentionally. These are not bad people. They're not intentionally harming anybody, but it's just. I don't think they have a good grip of what the full scope of their responsibility is. Does that make any sense?
It does, although I do have to ask you about one thing.
Sure, absolutely.
You mentioned, you say you see this every day.
Every day.
How?
Go ahead.
Because usually I would think that whenever you're, talking with a client, that you're, usually spending time with them.
Correct.
So I'm just curious as to, do you see these other things in action
at
your office?
Every day.
at your office, or more so out in the?
I'll tell you how I see them.
Okay.
I talk to a lot of potential clients every day. We've got a lot of in this business it's called lead generation. They call it farming. We call it a lot of things.
Right.
So I have companies that actually create leads from me in a very non-intrusive way. I'm very particular on how those companies present. But we have people that fill out forms. They fill out interest, and we contact them. I personally contact most of them. So I hear a lot of stories. We don't often have, as realtors, or / those who don't choose to be realtors, real estate agents, we don't have the greatest reputation. And that bothers me. It really bothers me. And the reason that reputation is there, number one, people don't call back. Someone reaches out to a real estate agent, no one calls them back. Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Or they hire them, and there isn't passion. And we can argue why I feel passion is unimportant, but I understand that maybe as a consumer you don't need that. But I'll tell you why I think it's important in a second.
Right.
But they don't have enough interest. They're not driven enough that they care enough. And I guess that's to me, part of the reason why I'm so driven in my practice to grow it and to engage as many people is because I like people. I like people. And I'm not afraid to say that. Maybe some people are afraid to say, I like people. I like the engagement with people. I like conversations. I like interaction. I like good business. I like to see other people smile and succeed. I'm not convinced every real estate agent out there, okay, for whatever level they're doing or not doing, or for whatever reason they got into the business, I'm not sure everybody feels that way. And see, I don't think you can be a realtor unless you really enjoy people. So the passion comes from that for me. And then seeing people smile and seeing people get what they want, their goals achieved, and helping them along the way. I don't achieve their goal for them. I don't choose a house for them. I can't, quote unquote, sell them anything outside of myself. And once they trust me and they hire me on, my sales role is gone. I'm a facilitator and an advocate and a friend, and I help them make good decisions all along the way so they can obtain their goals. That's all I am. I'm not a real estate salesperson, and when I hear that, I cringe. It's not what I am. There's an element of sales showing how much I want their business,
right,
and why we do this, how many houses I list, the way we do it. That's all sales. This show is sales. Absolutely. Once they're my client, the sales function is gone. And what I'm trying to say to you is that in my ideas, is the best way to run a real estate practice. And I didn't make this up. I learned this from great realtors. I took a little bit from this person and this real estate salesperson and this particular closing company, and I made my own practice based upon the passion I have to help people. End of story. And you know what? Some say it's corny. Some say, oh, that's all malarkey. It's not. It's not. It's driven me this far. And it's going to continue to grow this practice. And I hope in some point in time, I will be able to share this passion and how to conduct a practice with other younger agents. That's my goal. But again, yes, I'm a salesman in terms of acquiring clients and earning their trust. Once they hire me, the sales thing goes off. And again, with a younger agent, might not understand that. That's okay. They can learn. But if you're a part-time agent, where you have a full-time job, there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of part-time agents have become great full-time agents. But I will tell you, we have a lot of part-time agents in the market that are still part-time that may take a listing, one listing a year, 2 listings a year, and that's legal, and maybe they do a very ethical job. Could be. I'm asking you, the consumer, though, is that who you want representing you? I don't want an attorney taking my case that does 1 case a year. I don't care if they shave $100 an hour off the fee. I don't care. I don't want that. I don't want a dentist that does, 3 miles a year. I don't want that. I mean, now again, what I do isn't brain surgery. But again, I am actually dealing with what it probably is the biggest financial asset you have, which is your home.
Yeah.
So when you compare that to getting a root canal, I think sometimes, root canals are painful, but they're short-lived. If someone messes with your home, or someone gives you bad advice or bad steering or bad counsel on the transaction with your home, or lists your home and leaves $25,000 on the table because they didn't price it correctly, that's a big mistake.
Yeah.
So again, it comes back down to what you said, Matt, the experience being engaged and being active in the market. Now, The passion part comes from here. why I feel where my edge is my passion for my job. Now, you said you may not need passion with to do a good job.
It's not required, is what I was
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Where I think it may not be required, but I think it really helps.
Oh yeah.
Is when you are a realtor that is passionate, that does a listing. Now, you still want to be passionate with your buyers, because sometimes buyers can see 25 houses and they get discouraged. Okay, as a good realtor, we never get discouraged. Don't believe in it. If I've shown a client 92 homes, they've never bought to this day yet. I learned so much from this client. They're very good friends of mine, so I don't get discouraged. But I can see how sometimes my clients are. So my passion and my attitude and my constant encouragement to them is, hey, we're going to find it. We're going to find the right house. Hang in there. Let's do our homework. Let's prepare. Let's go see great house. It's going to work. That passion keeps them focused, keeps my buyers on track. It helps them see, hey, you know what? If Eric's that confident that we're going to find the right house, he knows what he's doing. We're going to listen to what he has to say. So passion can help there. But where the passion really helps, friends, is when I list a home. Because the conventional way, or what I like to say, the lazy way of listing a home is you go in, you do the paperwork, you agree to a commission, you agree to a listing price. The agent asks you what the inclusions are. Like, hey, what are you going to keep here? You're going to offer up the refrigerator and all that stuff. And then they have the seller fill out a seller disclosure. We've talked about all those things on prior shows. They do all that. That can be done in about an hour, in all honesty. And then the agent goes out to the car, sticks a temporary sign in the yard until the other one gets delivered. And now, quote unquote, they go back, they do a little computer work, it's on the MLS. 2 hours, maybe, maximum. So I can list a house in 2 hours if I didn't care, if I wasn't passionate about it. But I want that conversation with the lister. After they've hired me, I want that conversation of what I'm going to do to market the house. And I ask a bunch of questions. I ask way more questions than what the seller disclosures. I want to know that house as best I can. And I want that seller to know that I'm going to do all I can to market that house well beyond just sticking it on the internet. I mean, I see agents out there that won't even do open houses, which is mind-boggling to me out there, okay? But my point is to be passionate, not just about an open house, how you prepare for an open house, how do you advertise for an open house? How do you advertise the listing? I mean, Mr. Realtor, are you going to go out on social media and just, are you just going to say, hey, here's my new listing? Okay, so you and your 200 friends see it maybe? No, the idea is get engaged, be passionate, understand social media, go out there, run paid advertisements, go on the back end of Facebook, look at the demographics. You don't want your ad to be going to people who can't afford the home. You want to make sure that the demographics of the ad are people who are actively looking for homes in that demographic that have the type of family that might be perfect for a house. These are all things that I bring to my sellers at no charge to them. I don't charge them for ads, don't charge them for any of this. This is the passion I have to sell the property. To get on the phone, to call other agents and other brokers, hey, here's a listing. Can I email it over? Have email lists. You basically market the property publicly and privately, well beyond just putting a stake in the ground and putting it on a multi-list hoping Zillow picks it up. See, the passion is the extra. It's the juice. It makes the thing go. And when you're surrounded by other agents that I've been inspired by, I can tell you there's 3 of them right now in the Pittsburgh area, one of them in Beaver, 2 in Pittsburgh, 1 in Beaver. I watch everything they do. I go to lunch with them. I ask them to help me, just as other agents are not asking me to help them. Absolutely. I want to learn, because these things that I'm doing, while some of the social media things came from my experience at Boogie Street, a lot of it has come from observing success and really awesome presentations of other realtors. When I hire my friend Alan to go in and do the photographs and the walkthrough video, we started with a very simplistic video, and all of a sudden now we're getting these videos that are more engaging, and we're seeing that more people are watching them. We're advertising them. We're putting them in front of people that have interest in the home. It's selling properties. That's it. So the passion to do a really great job for your seller, either have it, you develop it, or you don't have it. And oftentimes, someone doing this as a part-time gig or a part-time job, or just maybe they want to say they're a realtor and they list one house a year that happens to be their cousin Trudy's. I don't know. Is that the best you can do as a consumer? Is that the best? Is that going to serve you the best? Your cousin, your aunt, your friend, your buddy, your paddle partner, they're all great people in the community, treasured friends. But will they serve you as your realtor well? Are they the best choice for you? And oftentimes they're not. Sometimes they probably are if they're great realtors. I hope my friends choose me. But if it's a part-time or if they're non-engaged, is it a good idea? That's where I'm going with the passion part.
Yeah. And furthermore, I mean, just to go with your friends, I mean, it really is sort of a disservice to yourself because you're not doing the research on who may be the best for your job. And, you may find like, oh, they sold, I don't know if realtors like yourself put up statistics on how many homes you sold or how many listings you've done. Okay,
We do.
You do. And then so if people can look those up and be like, oh, this guy has a pretty impressive resume, I'll go check him out instead of just saying, oh, I know him, that's it, and that's all I need to do.
Absolutely, and you owe it to yourself as a consumer to get engaged in the choosing process. Now, believe me, and before we go to the news here, believe me, I'm flattered when I've worked with a client who's so enamored with my work that they will personally recommend someone to me, and that person hires me on the spot based upon a recommendation. I'm flattered by that, okay? And granted, they might not have researched, but I can assure you, when they spoke with me and they asked me about the type of work I do, they got the same treatment. They saw the passion, they got it, they understand, and they're going to be taken care of. I have no problem with you working with your friends if that friend is going to serve you well. I have no problem with you hiring your sister, your brother, your brother-in-law, a cousin, an uncle, doesn't matter. That's okay. Are they a good realtor? Are they a realtor who's engaged, passionate, sells, has success, and more importantly, really cares about their clients? If they do, definitely hire them. Absolutely. But unfortunately, there's not enough engaged, passionate, experienced, customer-centric realtors there. I think more are coming, which is great. But unless your friend or family member isn't one of those people, I would probably suggest it's not going to serve you well selling what may be your biggest asset or finding the place to raise your children. That's where I'm going with this. And friends, I can't thank you so much for listening to me. This is Realtor Eric McKenna. This is your personal realtor. Our show is here every Saturday from 10 to noon. I have the honor of having my good friend and producer, Mr. Matt Durzik, who is, you probably know Matt because if you listen to this station, he seems like he's always here, along with my good friend Frank Sparks, our program director, and of course the Grand Poobah, Mark Peterson. These people have been instrumental in providing me the opportunity to do this show. And it's humbling, and I mean that in sincerest form, it's humbling to have the ability and the opportunity to speak real estate, something that I'm extremely passionate about, with all of you in the Beaver County Radio's listening audience every Saturday from 10 to noon, and more importantly in our Facebook audience as well, expanding our reach even further. So, again, you're listening to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. We have completed our first hour of the show. Whew, I'm out of breath, and I definitely need a glass of water. But you're listening to 1230 WBVP in Chippewa and Beaver Falls, and 1460 WMBA in Ambridge and Moon Township. And right now, it is time for Town Hall News. Oh man, I felt like a picture there for a second. I was so it was good though.
Yeah, it was.
It was good. It was good. It was good. It all started off that Mr. Rogers feed. You never know. It just takes you in a different direction, you know. Because that really resonates with me. Like that show was so wholesome, man. It was so part of my, and then that took me to the whole passionate thing, which ran right into there.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Memories of homes lost in Northern California because of the wildfires. Here's correspondent Tim McGuire.
Piles of rubble and ash where entire subdivisions once stood in Santa Rosa, California.
It's heartbreaking, It's everything I had. No, it's gone,
We had our new sleep number bed 1 week. Poof. If you look around the whole neighborhood, everybody's house is gone.
The wildfires that roared through the city and other parts of Northern California killed 42 people, most of them in Sonoma County, burned 8,400 homes and businesses at a cost the state insurance commissioner says is at least $1 billion.
That's correspondent Tim McGuire. Meanwhile, in Puerto Rico, about a month after Hurricane Maria, crews are still trying to get the lights back on.
Most people across the island still do not have power. There are hundreds of miles of the big transmission lines and literally thousands of miles of distribution lines.
That's correspondent Ben Fox, who says about 80% of the island is still in the dark. Compliments of Hurricane Maria's devastation in Henderson, Nevada yesterday. A motorcade bearing the flag drape casket of an off-duty Las Vegas police officer and U.S. Army veteran killed by that gunman in Las Vegas was on its way to the Southern Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Boulder City. Meanwhile, there's new information about the timeline just this week as the ongoing police investigation continues. Mike Grazia reports speculation is building that President Trump would like to see some leadership changes at the Federal Reserve.
President Trump has met with several potential candidates for top positions at the Federal Reserve in recent weeks. The 4-year term for Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen, who met with Trump at the White House Thursday, expires in February. There's already a vacancy for vice chair, with Stanley Fischer having just stepped down from that post.
That is correspondent Mike Grazia reporting. More on these stories can be found at townhall.com.
2 little tablets is all it takes to make your thin hair feel and look thicker and fuller. Guaranteed. Viviscal is the #1 drug-free hair growth supplement in the U.S., with 1 box being sold every minute globally. It's clinically researched to promote existing hair growth for men and women, and now a 90-day supply of Viviscal is offered in your area risk-free plus free shipping. Call 800-330-6865. Viviscal nourishes thinning hair from within. You'll love your hair growth results, guaranteed. Viviscal is so effective, it's recommended by top doctors. Here's Dr. John Laura.
As a dermatologist, I feel confident recommending Viviscal. It's backed by 25 years of research and multiple clinical studies that demonstrate Viviscal's effectiveness in promoting the growth of thicker, fuller hair.
Want to try Viviscal? Every listener that calls now gets a 90-day risk-free supply plus free shipping. Call now. 800-330-6865. 800-330-6865. That's 800-330-6865.
Family members of the man accused of killing 3 people and wounding 3 others in Maryland and Delaware say they feared for their own safety for years because of his mental health.
A woman who identified herself as a half-sister of 37-year-old Radee Prince told the News Journal he was angry, paranoid, and had an explosive temper. Melody Starling called Prince a psychopath who should have been committed to a mental health facility. Prince is charged with fatally shooting 3 of his co-workers and wounding 2 others at a granite company in Edgewood, Maryland on Wednesday. He's also charged with shooting and wounding another man in Delaware.
Oh, there's the bell. It looks like I gotta go.
His sister says his rage had been building for years, and he should have been on medication. Keith Peters reporting.
A team of international scientists says Nobel Prize-winning poet Pablo Neruda did not die of cancer or malnutrition, rejecting the official cause of death. They stopped short of confirming suspicions he may have been poisoned by the government of Augusto Pinochet. More from townhall.com. The FDA approves a better vaccine against the painful shingles virus.
The Food and Drug Administration has approved a new, more effective vaccine to prevent the shingles. The drug from GlaxoSmithKline will be the second shingles vaccine approved for the U.S. market. The first from Merck was launched in 2006. The new vaccine is said to prevent shingles in about 90% of people. Anyone who's had chickenpox harbors the virus that causes the disease. The virus can resurface decades later and trigger shingles, painful sores on one side of the body.
Appreciate it.
Correspondent Mike Grazia. A new poll finds a slaying of about 5 dozen people at a Las Vegas music festival did little to change American opinions about gun laws. A survey from the Associated Press NORC Center for Public Affairs Research also found the country remains divided over whether restricting firearms would reduce the number of such mass shootings or not. More details at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Bob Agnew.
Beaver County's hometown radio stations, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
friends, we are back. Thank you for joining us for Hour 2, affectionately known as the Power Hour.
The Power Hour.
Power Hour here on Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. Whew! That was a good first hour, Matt. And I have to say, you and Frank Sparks have really kept this show's flow going week after week. And I thank you for that, because I'm still a rank amateur at this game. And at times, it was easy when I had an hour, I'll be honest with you, even when I started, because we had so much content and it was we had to get it all in an hour. So the flow was there. Now I can relax a little more with 2 hours and not rush. But, I'm probably making it harder on myself over here than I have to be. We record this show, my friends, for posterity. I want to slip on that word. Posterity at calleric.com. All of our shows, or almost all of our shows, are in their entirety there to be viewed. And based on the viewings, people like them. We appreciate that. They're content driven. But I'm making it hard over here. We have 2 Facebook Live feeds, and we have the video. And I've got finally have the technology set up where I can see Facebook Live here. And I have all my paraphernalia, so I make it a little bit more difficult on myself. And at times, it's, I can get off on a subject, and Matt kind of rails me back in and brings me back in. So, Sarah, thank you for what you do. This show would not happen without you.
I appreciate that. It's very a very interesting set of circumstances.
It is. He's so polite. It's a very interesting set of circumstances. I don't know how to take that. Friends, this show is also sponsored by, and I didn't mention this great fellow. If you're looking at your home right now and you're looking at your bath and you're like, ooh, I think we need a bathroom, or should we talk about getting a new bathroom? I got the guy for you. Mr. Jim Taddeo from Quality Baths for Less. Phenomenal guy, both personally and professionally. You can reach Jim at 412-758-7345. Again, it's 412-758-7345, or visit Jim at qualitybathsforless.com. He'll come in, no charge to you, evaluate your circumstances, ask, quite frankly, the right questions to find out what you want, and he will show you his offerings. Different levels, different options. Great guy. Won't go in there and try to take your money. He's a really honest and genuine guy there to help you if you have the need or the want for a bath repair or a full new bathroom. That's Jim Taddeo for qualitybathsforless.com, and I am very proud to have him as a sponsor for this here show. So there you go. So again, friends, I encourage you to call or text me or email or whatever. You send a carrier pigeon, but participate in this show. And the easiest way, obviously, is the 2 most famous numbers in Beaver County. 724-843-1888, or 724-774-1888.
That's correct.
Okay. I'm doing it by memory because they stole my cheat sheet over here. Colin, we're talking today about, and if you have any experience in this, we'd love to hear it. We just got to keep it civil, and we don't want to, name names or anything, but we're talking about why it may not be the best idea to hire a realtor that's a personal friend or family member if that particular person doesn't do it full time, or they don't seem to be having any success at it, or it appears they're not doing it with any vigor or any enthusiasm. And again, we all have friends and family that we love. We want to take care of them. Naturally, we want to give business and do business with people we like, of course. However, your home could be the biggest asset you have. Or if you're buying a home, this is the place you're going to raise your family, or maybe the place you're going to retire. It's a big part of your life. Don't entrust it for someone that you're not completely confident has your best interest at heart, has the wherewithal to get it done correctly, and you just don't feel like you're being handled by a professional. You might not want to go down that route. And that goes for any profession. Doctors, attorneys, lawyers, even car salespeople. Someone possibly who's going to sell you a bathroom. That's why we talk about Jim Taddeo. Whether you're any of my sponsors, you're hiring a photographer to photograph your family. You want a professional. You want to go to some place that's going to, the notary, right? People don't look forward to going to the notary, and I think that's always because traditionally it's been this little office. It's like an obligation. You gotta go down to the notary. You're going to be there a half an hour because they're going to take their time. Frags, tags, and Coriolis, they get you in, they get you out. It's pleasant, they're fun, great people. People that are professionals at what they do, who take their jobs seriously. someone who's going to take care of you. I cannot implore you enough. And Matt, you asked a very good question. He asked me a question, we didn't get to it last hour. He said, Eric, how do you know that there are agents out there who are not intentionally doing anything wrong, but they're just, they don't have the passion or don't seem to have the wherewithal, or maybe don't have the correct training, and I don't like to use the word experience because we were all young ones, but maybe a younger agent that isn't taking it seriously. Where do you see these people? And I didn't answer you, and I want to tell you where I see and hear of them. Number one, I talk to a lot of prospects every day. We talked about that. We engage a lot of potential new clients every day, and I hear the stories. Agents don't call back. I had this agent, didn't do anything for me, wouldn't run an open house, wouldn't show the comps to me when they just said, hey, your house is worth X amount of dollars, but didn't show us why or how they came up with that number.
Right.
Okay. You hear a lot of different things about in regards to why agents may quote unquote fail in the eyes of a consumer. Also, I see it every day, unfortunately, because I am in contact with a lot of agents when I'm showing homes or I'm arranging to show my clients homes, or I have clients showing the homes of my listings. So sometimes I see it there too, and it can be very frustrating, the lack of customer service not being there. We have a phone call.
Oh, they hung up again.
Oh, well, I'm insulted. Friends, you get 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. We're expecting a couple phone calls today. First, Diamond Dave from Big Bang Comics and Collectibles General, and he's a couple minutes late, and Dave's usually never tardy, so I'm guessing Big Bang Comics and Collectibles down there is booming today. He must have a pretty good audience. But look out for Dave. He's calling in.
Well, I know one thing that I know he's called him a couple times. His deal of the week is that pen, the Lucille pen.
Oh yeah,
from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
And considering that's coming, I guess, back on air tomorrow.
Is The Walking Dead tomorrow?
I think it's coming back. Yeah.
See, and I'm one of those guys who had to catch up. I actually was after the fourth season. People were raving about the show, and I'll tell you this: I did watch it live at the very beginning, shows 1 and 2, and not being a big the genre. It didn't do anything for me. And then it became a huge hit. And then finally I said, maybe I really need to go back and, I need to watch this from the beginning. And I got hooked. But I don't know if I'm going to watch it live. I always kind of let a couple weeks go, and then I'll crash out maybe a Saturday night late, and I'll watch them all at one time.
Right.
It's fun to do that.
You're a binge watcher.
Yeah, it's fun to do that. You don't think?
I mean, to an extent.
I mean, you don't want to stay on the couch for 10 hours, which I've heard people do.
Yeah.
But ultimately, yeah. So Dave has Diamond Dave's deal of the week, and at Big Bang Comics and Collectibles, waiting to hear from him. But again, back to our subject here. If you have had any experiences, and if it's a positive experience, I want to hear that too, positive and negative. But if you have used a family member or a friend or someone that you were on the you're on the fence, I don't know if I should use them because I really need somebody good at this particular task. It could be anything: buying a car, buying a house. It could be an attorney. It could be a dentist, doctor, any profession, any worthwhile employment, anything that serves the public. If you've hired somebody out of what you felt was obligation. Ooh, I hate that word.
Ooh. Yeah.
Obligation. Relationship obligation. If you've taken that leap, we all have. I know I have. We'd like to hear from you. 724-1888 and 724-843-1888. See, I said it backwards there.
Yeah.
I caught you. So I'm doing okay if I don't have my cheat sheet.
Yeah, you're doing quite well.
I'm doing okay. And so before I get this out of the way, so let's talk about the sponsors, the great people to make this here show go. Friends, naturally, our good friends at Frags Tags that I mentioned just a little bit ago, down in the heart of Coriopolis there on 5th Avenue. Go see Jonathan or Michelle at Frags Tags for all your title, transfer, and notary needs. It's 412-264-3018. Our good friend, Miss Dawn Morris, exceptional lifestyle, family, and portrait photographer. Entrust Dawn to get all the great photos of your family all through the years. It's worth it. What she does with color is amazing. You got to see her work at gypsysoulsphotography.com. That's Dawn Morris at 412-337-8348. And of course, our go-to mortgage agent, Miss Leslie Raymond with Union Home Mortgage. Contact Leslie at 719-563. Start over again. Leslie Raymond with Union Home Mortgage, 412-719-5673. Our go-to mortgage agent, NMLS number 138287, and PA license number 29666. There you go. Leslie will be a guest on this show very soon, and I can assure you it's going to be great because mortgage questions come up so much in real estate, so much. Do we have a phone call?
Yes.
All right, we'll get back to our sponsors after our call.
Good morning. You're on Your Personal Realtor.
Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Good morning.
This is Curtis Jones. Eric, we just spoke.
Yes, we did, Curtis. As a matter of fact, we just spoke, was it yesterday? Or the night before?
Background, sorry.
That's all right, buddy. That's all right. The night before, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm tuning into the show. I think
Thank
it's
you.
great.
Thank you.
It's a wonderful thing what you got going on, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, buddy.
Absolutely.
We met, for our audience, Curtis was a new potential customer for my practice, and he was Curtis and his wife are starting the process right from the beginning, from the very beginning.
Yes,
So what I absolutely, and I have to give you some props, Curtis. What I love is an engaged client, and what's even more impressive is when you meet a prospect at the beginning and they're engaged, they have done their homework. And Curtis has done a lot of work on the background, and he had a list of questions for me. I mean, how cool is that? Not only does it make it easier for us, but it shows that if I get the opportunity to work with this client, this prospect, they're going to be an engaged client in the process. And that makes everything not just easier on the realtor, more importantly, if the client stays engaged, they're going to be happier at closing every time. Every time.
Yes, sir. I agree. And so far, so good, man. We just met, and I liked everything I heard. And
well, thank you.
What you were saying before about school districts on your podcast there is very important. We have 2 children, and that's the first thing we looked at was just the school district.
Absolutely, my friend, and we talked about and Curtis and I talked about the importance of that during our conversation, and and Curtis, I'm sure you probably remember I kind of danced around a little bit because there's some legalities. I can't talk derogatory one way or another, but I also I know. It's that guy who talks too much. That's who's talking. That's me. But it was great the homework you did, and it makes it easier. It definitely makes it easier for everybody. And I wish the consumer would get more engaged. And there's a lot of good information out there. And as Curtis and I were talking, sometimes the information, kind of what Matt said earlier, you can't always trust what you see on the internet. You have to watch where it's written from. But ultimately, there's a lot of good, solid information out there, and I commend you, sir, for being so informed. I do.
Thank you very much, man. I just wanted to call in, and we'll be in contact real soon, sir.
Thank you, Curtis. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Oh, that was very...
Yeah, he was a referral, and he said, look, I'm just starting, so I don't even know what our timetable is. Would you be willing to sit down with me? And I said, absolutely. And after about I spent 90 minutes. We had a really good conversation, and I will tell you, we had a little chit-chat toward the end. We got to know each other a little bit, but really he was there driven with he had it all together. And it's so cool because that's kind of, he's a man after my own heart because that's kind of how I address things that I'm exploring as well. Whether I'm buying a car, whether I'm getting flooring put in my house, I kind of go overboard with information. I want to know everything I possibly can before I hire somebody. Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm a little overboard. My wife goes, "Are you kidding me? You don't need to go. Let the professionals do their job." But it's that curious mind. Back to our sponsors again. Matt Pia with Division 9 Home Inspections. That's Matt Pia or his assistant Steve Kowalik. 2 great guys. If you have any questions in regards to your house, or you feel that having an owner's manual through your house or better understanding of the current condition of your house is important to you, it may be worth a call to Matt or Steve with Division 9 Home Inspections. They are my go-to inspector. I try to recommend them to my buyers as a first consideration if possible. They do tremendous work. I mean, 2 of the finest inspectors in the Valley, hands down. You can contact Matt or Steve at 412-715-8123, or you can visit them at division9inspection.com. And I can announce on this show that Steve Kowalik will be on in 2 weeks. So Steve Kowalik from Division 9 Home Inspections is coming, and that's going to be absolutely great. Well, I'm saying absolutely a lot today. I'm critically analyzing myself, man. Of course, Big Bang Comics and Collectibles. We're waiting for a call for Dave. I guess I'm guessing he probably has a store full of people. I'm sure he'll call in at some point. That's Big Bang Comics and Collectibles in Swickley on Broad Street. Get your inner nerd out. Contact Dave today at 412-259-8742. And of course, if you have any concerns in regards to your roof at home, don't wait. I can't tell you how important it is to address roofing issues. I see it all the time. I see, and I understand it. There's a perception it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. You know, oh, that leak's there. We know about that leak. We really should do something about that leak. And then months later, that leak is still there. Friends, contact Hamilton Hope with Hope Roofing. It's 412-264-7598. Again, 412-264-7598. Talk to Hamilton. Have him come out, give your roof an examination. You may need a simple repair. It could be something as maybe the slope of the gutters might not be right. Okay, you may have a little ice damming in the winter. And that's, you know, I know a little to be dangerous here as a realtor. Ice damming is when there may be a little sloping in the roof where the ice, or possibly where the gutters are backed up and the ice actually rolls up onto the roof and then it melts and it causes an issue. It could be something as simple as that. It might not be an expensive repair, but here's the thing. Call someone that's not there to take your money, that's going to help you. And if you do need a new roof, you know, it might not be as expensive as you think. And if it is a pricey adventure, which some roofs are, and you bite the bullet and you have it done, don't you want it done by a pro? Yes, you do. And that's Hamilton Hope with Hope Roofing. It's hoperoofingandgutters.com. It's 412-264-7598. That's Hamilton Hope with Hope Roofing. Please tell them Eric McKenna sent you. And of course, Jim Taddeo. We can't forget Jim this hour. We can't forget Jim. Friends, if you're looking for any kind of bathroom remodeling, or even you want to start the process to find out what it's going to cost, you couldn't find a better guy than Jim Taddeo with Quality Baths for Less. 412-758-7345. Again, Jim Taddeo, 412-758-7345, or visit Jim at Quality Baths for Less. Contact Jim, call him. He's going to take care of you. Absolutely. All right, there we have it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the remedial things of radio, friends, which are the things that, you know, experienced people like Matt and Frank and Pat Septak and you know, these people know how to do this off the back of their hand. I'm still reading off scripts over here. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to make it sound natural, but at the same time, you know, I am reading off a script. I can't help it. I have to do that, Matt.
Hey, whatever makes it sound the best.
Well, yeah, we're attaching it. We are here live in the Lachina Drapery and Blinds Factory Studio in downtown Beaver Falls at Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. This is Eric McKenna, host of Your Personal Realtor, every Saturday from 10 to noon on this fair station, joined by Sir Matt Dursick back there pressing all the right buttons, or at least he thinks he is, or I hope he is, because I haven't been cut off the air yet. so far, so good. And today we're talking anything you'd like to talk at 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888. Anything to do with real estate. Or Matt, you know, Matt got a new haircut here, and you really can't see it, but I was telling you last week it looked very good.
Oh, well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so if you want to comment on Matt's haircut, that's okay too.
I'm sure the people on the live feed will appreciate that.
The topic for today, the general topic that we'd like to stay on is again, the awkward circumstance that many of us find of hiring a friend or family member to handle something for you. In this instance, real estate. Is it always in your best interest, or is it worth the risk of hiring somebody in your family that might be a part-time realtor, or a realtor that just does a couple pieces of business a year and has other interests? And that's okay. If they want to live their life that way, there's nothing wrong with that. Or hiring a friend who just got into business, which, hey, we all were new at one time. You know, so I'm not knocking a new agent. If that new agent has a mentor, that new agent has someone working with them, they're engaged, they're passionate about it, you may want to take a chance on that new agent, because you know what? Some people took a chance on me, and they gave me my start. But I was very passionate, very engaged, and I knew enough that I didn't know enough. And I went out and got that information, and I worked under great realtors.
Right, and you just mentioned the thing one that I was thinking about before. You know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, this is, you know, real estate's just, you know, buying and selling houses and listing them, and, you know, I think this should be simple enough. I'm just going to go right into it. How much, like if you knew somebody who was into realtor just sort of breaking in, how much would you recommend that they get a mentor first or be sort of an assistant to one before getting into it themselves?
Of the strongest degree, I can't recommend it any stronger than an absolute 100% certainty. Yes, do it. Do it. As an assistant, if your circumstance is structured correctly and you have your license, you're going to learn all the remedial stuff right away. You're going to learn all the procedural stuff right away. Okay, which is phenomenal. I mean, Amy is on my practice. She's my licensed assistant. She can do everything that I can do legally, she can do. But she's learning from the ground up. She's learning some conceptual things from me. She's been out on listings. I even actually, I'm going to embarrass you, Amy, if you're listening, I actually sent her out with a new buyer. It was phenomenal. She came back, discussed it. The buyer wants to work with her, so she obviously did a great job. But we talked about things that went well, things that she can change to make things go better. That's a learning thing. But she's learning all the procedural stuff, and there is quite a bit of paperwork in real estate now. A lot of it now is in the cloud. It's phenomenal. We have things like DocuSign and zip forms and all this stuff computer-wise to make it easier for not just the consumers, making it easier for us, but there are a lot of details, and she's learning those from the ground up as an assistant. If you want to come on as a junior agent or a buyer's agent, that's an option. You can come on and work just with buyers for an agent like myself or someone, an agent with a bigger practice than mine. And for the first year or two, you're not going to mess with listings. You're going to concentrate on being a good buyer's agent, learning all about showing homes, learning all about how mortgages are done, how mortgages are structured in a way so you can negotiate deals for buyers. You're going to learn about buyers' needs. You're going to learn about demographics. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about interpersonal relationships. But you're going to have your focus is going to be more limited. And in that way, you can actually become a specialist. And I will tell you, Matt, there are buyer's agents that started that way that end up loving it so much they don't even want to list homes. They are strictly buyer's agents, and they do very well. They do very, very well. I wish when I started my career, I would have taken either one of those routes, okay? What I did was, I was fortunate. I started with Howard Hanna, and we've talked many times on this show. The training I received was phenomenal. I had to seek it out. I had to have a lot of initiative and a lot of drive, but I sought the corporate training out, and it helped me. There was a gentleman by the name of Michael Cowden, who was a sales director there, very instrumental in launching my career, steered me in the right direction. There was a senior agent there named Mr. Bob Fox, and if you live anywhere in the airport area, you've seen Bob Fox on real estate signs forever. Phenomenal human being. I owe him so much. I learned by observing. I'm the kind of guy also that was very in tune with the web. And a lot of things I did with Boogie Street, a lot of the instructional things of running my own website and all that kind of stuff, I learned by watching instructional videos. So as a young agent, there's an incredible amount of content on the web from reputable sources.
Right.
To Indeed, and your Realtor association provides a lot of it. And so if you really take it upon yourself and you know this is what you want to do, because I went in with both feet, I wasn't going to fail. I wasn't dipping my toe in the warm water, seeing what the temperature was, and thinking I may pull it back out again. This had to work for me. I was going from one business that provided me a lot of freedom. I'm a middle-aged man. I knew that this is going to provide the lifestyle that I need to be at my kids' baseball games, to be at my daughter's soccer games, to be able to take vacations. That hasn't happened yet, but in theory, to be able to take vacations. Having a wife that was a flight attendant, so her having a kind of like a different kind of schedule. This was going to work for me. And once I got in and I realized that it just met every aspect of my personality, it was going to work. So as a young agent, yes, absolutely. If you're interested in real estate, I encourage you to call me. Absolutely call me if you're someone out there and you're interested in real estate and you want to learn more about it. My number is it's 412, numbers in front of me. 412-613-4466. Call or text me. But as a young agent, yes, an assistant or being a buyer's agent for a larger agent or being a junior agent, it may seem humbling. You may be 50 years old like me, and you might have a junior agent or a senior agent you're working for who could be 26. But if he's got 6 years of phenomenal work and he's got a great reputation and his practice is larger, be humble, learn. I learned from so many senior, Jane Strano, what a great Howard Hanna agent in Beaver County. Ms. Kesmar, this device they gave me was phenomenal all along the way. Learn from everybody, and to this day I learn. I mean, every time I meet a buyer, I was just with Curtis the other night, and I was learning about his life. I learned some things, just about things that I had nothing. It had nothing to do with real estate. But what I learned about interpersonal skills and what I learned about other people's experiences will help me with additional clients. So if you like the idea and you think you might want to be a realtor, I encourage you. I encourage you to contact someone like myself or contact any of the brokers and just find out more. Find out more.
Right.
And that's the end of my recruiting for the day. Friends, you're listening to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna here every Saturday from 10 to noon on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. And I'll catch my breath, and Matt and I'll be right back. I got the passion today.
Gosh, talk about the power out. My goodness.
Not bad. Yeah. Fish was probably blowing me off. Dude, are you kidding me?
Hello, friends. This is Remaxed Advanced Realtor Eric McKenna with CallEric.com and host of Your Personal Realtor on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I really hope you are enjoying today's show. Friends, did you know that I can be your personal realtor? That's right. If you're looking to list your home or buy a new home, call or text me today at 412-613-4466. That's 412-613-4466. Or send me an email at sold@calleric.com. That's sold@calleric.com. I just love it when listeners become clients. So why not contact me today and let me put my social media advertising to work for you. Together, we can reach your real estate goals. This is Your Personal Realtor, Eric McKenna, with Remaxed Advanced Realtors and CallEric.com.
Credit card debt piling up? Tired of making payment after payment and still never seeing your balance come down? Stop. With New Alliance Federal Credit Union's Visa, you'll pay just 6.99% APR with no annual fee and no balance transfer fee. Stop paying 13, 20, even 25% interest. New Alliance Federal Credit Union's Visa card is just 6.99% with no balance transfer fee and no annual fee. New Alliance also offers home equity and consolidation loans that can save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars by combining your existing debts into one low-rate loan. Apply online at newalliancefcu.com or visit your convenient local branch across from the mall in Center Township, on Merchant Street in Ambridge, or Main Street, West Aliquippa. Visa offer applies to new balance transfers and purchases for the life of the balance. Future rates subject to change. Approval based on creditworthiness. Other restrictions may apply.
Reverend Gary Hilton of Chippewa United Methodist Church would like to cordially invite you to come join his congregation in celebrating the life of Christ every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. The Chippewa United Methodist Church is located at 2545 Darlington Road in Beaver Falls. So if you can't make it to the service, then listen every Sunday morning from 11 to 11:30 a.m. on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA to the Reverend Gary Hilton of the Chippewa United Methodist Church.
Here for you 24 hours a day. Beaver County's hometown radio stations, 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA.
Man, your music's good, buddy. He did it. He brought out the Who. Eminence Front. Wow. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So my man Bobby Donnell, good friend of mine, watching on Facebook Live on our business page, goes, sometimes it's better to rely on family. Yeah, I suppose there are times to do that. I mean, if in this instance, if we're talking real estate today, if the realtor is a family member and they're accomplished, they have a good practice, and they're respected by family and friends and other clients, absolutely, absolutely. And there are conversely many, many more times that going with Uncle Charlie, who has a real estate license, but also about 4 other things he has his hands into, and may do a listing once a year, and it might not serve you. Might not serve you well.
Yeah.
Might not serve you well, and that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Not discounting family.
Right, but I don't think you can discount family, but at the same time, I don't think you can prioritize it either.
No, you can't. It's a good way of putting it. You don't want to prioritize it. And he just left me a message because he's related to me through marriage. Yeah. Sometimes it's better to use family, like calleric.com. Correct. In that instance, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And thank you to our Facebook Live audience today, which has been phenomenal. It's been packed. Had a lot of comments. People were definitely engaged, and that's what we want. We're talking about a lot of things today. We're talking about primarily, though, is it always a good idea to hire a family or a friend to be your realtor if you're not real confident on the quality of their work and you may feel obligated to hire them? And before we get back into those discussions, we encourage you to call us 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888, the 2 most powerful and famous numbers in all of Beaver County.
Yes.
With Beaver County Radio. We're here at the Lachina Drapery and Blinds Factory Studio in downtown Beaver Falls. I'm joined by, of course, the incomparable Mr. Matt Durzek behind the big board. I am your host, Eric McKenna, with RE/MAX Advanced Realtors. I want to send a huge shout out to what has been a group of people that have been phenomenal to me personally and professionally, and that is the Facebook group of Moon Connects. Moon Connects, that's Connects plural. Moon Connects. They have supported me. They have referred me, my goodness. And some of my biggest, quote unquote, for lack of a better phrase, business fans are out there. Caroline Trunzo, Stephen Dish, the originators, the moderators. They've been gracious and kind. And to both of you, I love you both. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the members of Moon Connects for all of your tremendous support. You do not go unnoticed at all. I can assure you of that. So, we're down to the last 20 minutes of the show here, Matt.
So quickly.
I know. And again, friends, we have been talking about why it's important to hire a professional realtor. Here's my little 60-second, appeal to you. If you are thinking of buying or selling your house, and I really don't care whether you're thinking of buying your first home, your second home, maybe your retirement home, maybe you're moving. Maybe you have a family member, you have a son, daughter, uncle, aunt, someone who is in need of high quality realtor service, someone that's going to come in and truly be a friend, not to them, but to the family, and advise correctly. List your house, get your house engaged, get it out in the market, and have it sell for market value, or help you find a new home. I offer my services to you. There's no obligation to call or text me, and there's no obligation for me to come and meet with you and explain the kind of work I do, but more importantly, for me to listen to your questions and your concerns and then answer the very best I can, and hopefully we can find a connection there. If you're interested in speaking with me, I encourage you to call or text 412-613-4466. Again, 412-613-4466. Call or text me, or check out the lead sponsor of this show, which is my website, calleric.com. Again, that's calleric.com. My philosophies on real estate, the methods that we work with our buyers and sellers, paid Facebook ads, videos from all of our radio shows. I have a very short video series called the McKenna Minute that has 1, 2, or 3 minute video clips there of real estate tips. They get a lot of hits. They've been shared. It's very humbling and very flattering, but I put a lot of thought into those, and it's basically just little spurts of information, whether you're a buyer or a seller, things you want to keep in mind. And I do that whether you're working with me or whether you're working with anyone else. Just things that kind of sometimes hold your realtor accountable, okay? Stay engaged, as any client needs to do, regardless of your realtor. Stay engaged in the process and be helpful, okay? Because you will make the process go so much easier if you help your realtor. Again, let them do the heavy lifting. Let me do the heavy lifting for you. But be engaged and be helpful. And in the end, I would like to be your personal realtor. It's 412-613-4466. Call or text me, 412-613-4466. Call or text. There's no obligation whatsoever to have a conversation or even a coffee. Tell me the kind of coffee you drink. not hazelnut. But come and tell me the kind of coffee you want. Even hazelnut, okay. I will bring you coffee and we'll have that conversation to see if there's a good fit with the kind of work that I do. I'd love to be your personal realtor. This show is sponsored by so many people. We've talked about them, but I want to reiterate one more time. Hope Roofing. That's Hamilton Hope, the owner of Hope Roofing in Coriopolis. If you suspect you have a roofing issue, whether it's your home, it's a family member's home, maybe it's a rental property you have, or if you don't have any issues, but you know the roof has got 10, 15, 20 years on it, and you want to know the condition of the roof and how much longer do you have, you know, Hamilton Hope is the guy to call. You can take it from me. He's done work for my family. He was a go-to guy for my father for many years as a contractor. He comes with the strongest recommendation. That's Hope Roofing, Mr. Hamilton Hope, 412-264-7598. 412-264-7598, or visit Hamilton at hoperoofingandgutters.com. Tell him Eric sent you. He will not let you down, and that is a good way to open up the discussion with somebody honest and trustworthy about your roof concerns. I think a lot of us, including me at times in the past, I have put off calling contractors on things that I know need addressed because I'm kind of worried about getting taken. Kind of worried about, no one wants to get taken. And, realtors don't often have the greatest reputations, and I'm sad about that, and I'm trying to change that single-handedly, mind you. but oftentimes contractors don't always have the greatest reputation either, and that's a shame. And again, if you have a roofing concern, Hamilton Hope Roofing at hoperoofingandgutters.com. You cannot go wrong. So,
very simple.
Very simple. Very simple. And we have been joined by Mr. Greg Benedetti.
Yeah.
Back in the studio. How are you, Greg?
Good, Eric. How are you?
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Greg is on every Saturday with Matt, and these two fine gentlemen host one of my favorite shows, which I've had the pleasure of actually being a guest on there on occasion, which is the Sports Slam.
The Saturday Sports Slam.
Well, yeah, it is Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call it the Saturday Sports Slam.
Well, that's what we call it.
I know, but it's an assumption that it's Saturday, Matt.
Yeah.
The Saturday Sports Slam. And now, give me the hours. I know when it ends. It ends at 9:45.
But it begins at 8:05.
So it's an 8:05 to 9:45.
That's correct.
Show.
Yes.
And I call in often too. I'm a participant in this show.
Yeah.
I love the topics. It's always done. I love the fact that Greg is always Johnny on the spot when it comes to scores. That's the one thing. It used to drive me crazy. You listen to a sporting show.
Mm-hmm.
I just listen to the ones that are in the city, and you listen, and then like a half an hour will go by, and you don't get any scores. Sometimes an hour goes by, and you don't get any scores. So. These guys on a Saturday Sports Slam from 8:05 to 9:45 every Saturday. You gotta listen to Matt and Greg. Do you have a call?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Good morning, Diamond Dave.
What is happening, my friend?
What is up with you being tardy? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, it is. I'm just kidding you, my good friend. This is Dave Bishop, Diamond Dave Bishop, with Big Bang Comics and Collectibles right there across the street from me, actually, on Broad Street in Sewickley. Okay, Diamond Dave, what is the Diamond Dave's deal of the week?
Well, since our favorite show there, The Walking Dead, is coming back on Sunday, we're going to run a special on the Negan Lucille bats that you have seen. We're running those at half off through the week.
You mean the actual bat? The one I had the honor of somewhat swinging in the store?
Yep. That puts those at $12.50 a piece.
Oh, I'm telling you now, put one aside for me. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, set one aside immediately. Yes, that is going on display in my office over across the street from Big Bang Comics and Collectibles. You got it. And on a little personal note here, as I was going to do this a little later before we get off the air, but I want to say right now, Dave's also a client, and he has a phenomenal home. We're going to hold open tomorrow. That's right. We're holding an open house tomorrow at 231 LaRue in the heart of Moon Township. And I say the heart a lot, but when I mean heart, I mean the heart of Moon Township. It is positioned right in the center in a very that's right. And almost a full acre, a fenced-in backyard, very private, lots of updates, very, very great home. It's positioned at $219,900. It's a great starter home. It can be for an upwardly mobile couple. It also could be a great second home. It's in a phenomenal school district. Everybody knows I'm partial to Moon. My kids that go there, both of them play athletics for Moon. We've been through this. You know how great and how affectionate I am for Moon Township. We're going to be there tomorrow from 11 to 4. That's right. No excuses. The Steelers don't start till 4:25, I think.
Yeah.
So no excuses. We're going to be there from 11 to 4. Come see us, 231 LaRue. You also can check us out on Facebook, on my Facebook page and Dave's page. We'll be advertising it heavily, continually until we open at tomorrow 11. Come and see us. I'm not letting Dave stay for the open house, though. No, I'm going to send Dave.
I have stuff to do.
Yes, you always have stuff to do, Dave.
That is true.
All right, my friend. Again, can you restate again the deal of the week?
Deal of the week is the Walking Dead vegan Lucille bats we have. They be great Halloween prop replica. Be great to have for your Walking Dead premiere party this Sunday as it comes back. They are normally around $25. We're running them half off, so they'll be $12.50 for that.
See, I thought 25 was a good price. I'm just, it's oh my goodness. You gotta get it. You set one aside for me, buddy. All right, I'll see you soon. That's Diamond Dave Bishop with Big Bang Comics and Collectibles in the heart of Swickley. That's right. I'll see you, buddy. Thanks.
All right.
Well, there you go.
By the way, I do want to thank you personally, Eric, for emphasizing that it's going to go onto your display case. Because I was about to say, Realty was going to get a bit more interesting if
this bat is so cool, though. If you go to my Facebook page, you will see where I am pretending to swing this bat. It's so cool. It's all foam, but it's done so well.
Right.
It looks so well, and that's such a horrific part of that show. I cringe.
It's just the thought of that in like real life. Is
okay,
yes.
Well, so we are at the the last bit of our show here, and what Matt and I have not been able to do the past couple of weeks is talk any sports because we've had guests and so forth. But we need to take a break first. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk a little hockey, talk a little baseball, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Yes. Friends, you're listening to Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. That'd be me. On 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA, which comprise Beaver County Radio. And Matt, Greg, and myself will be right back. All right, we're going to start with hockey first. And I'll let you leave because,
Witches and goblins and ghosts, oh my. If there's nothing short of the scariest place to be this Halloween, it's the annual New Brighton Halloween.
Well, that was my alarm. That was someone's alarm. But it wasn't here, and it wasn't
WBVP
here.
and
It was your phone?
live at the parade on Wednesday,
There was a wake-up
October
alarm.
25th,
It wasn't on here. When I went to
from
turn it off, it
6
wasn't
until
there. I thought it was on this phone.
Join in the fun.
It was?
Just
How come it went off? Oh, so was someone calling me?
Annual New Brighton Halloween parade.
I have a do not disturb. I think it'll...
October 25th.
Why is it ringing through?
The New Brighton Halloween Parade is brought to you by J&J Spratt Funeral Home,
It's
Tacos
Halloween,
Auto Salvage,
something,
DOT
right?
Rentals, 68th Female Restaurant, Hallowed
I
Grounds,
think I haven't
Music
said
Center,
where my
the Mayor
wife,
Gallery,
my
RS
mom,
Belco Credit Union,
a
Dr.
couple
J.
of people will
Funkhausen,
ring
United
through.
Croatian
I said that when I go to sleep, because I don't want, like,
Beaver Valley
any
Auto Mall,
pings from,
Bargain Breaks, Marlowe's Restaurant
emails,
and Tavern,
texts
West
late at
Banco,
night and all
Frank
that
Hacko
stuff.
Insurance,
Right, whatever.
Nautical Academics Captain School, Delhon Auto, Butler
Okay.
Gas Products, Brighton Health Mart, Flower Pot Garden Supplies, Napleton Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and Beaver County Radio. Your own WBVP and WMBA.
Hello, friends. This is Remaxed Advanced Realtor Eric McKenna with CallEric.com and host of Your Personal Realtor
it's
on
good to run it this way.
1230
All the writing
WBVP
isn't
and
backwards,
1460
Right. We run it from this
WMBA.
side.
I really hope
And I
you're
can do it
enjoying
because I can
today's
see myself
show.
over
Friends,
here.
did
See
you
it
know that
centered
I
right.
can be your personal realtor? That's right. If you're looking to list your home or buy a new home, call or text me today at 412-613-4466. That's 412-613-4466. Or send me an email at sold@calleric.com. That's sold@calleric.com. I just love it when listeners become clients. So why not contact me today and let me put my social media advertising to work for you. Together, we can reach your real estate goals. This is your personal realtor, Eric McKenna, with Remaxed Advanced Realtors and CallEric.com.
I'm going to do one promo of myself to go right to you. And we're back. Thanks for joining us for the final segment of Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. That'd be me. Remax Advanced Realtor out of Swickley and Robinson Township. We service, well, at least I service, all of Allegheny, Butler, Washington, and of course the great county of Beaver. And so many of you have indeed opened up your houses and your families to me, and thank you so much for engaging in real estate with me. I've had the opportunity to come and visit with so many of you. Many of you have hired me as a realtor already. Some were probably 3 to 6 months out. We've laid the groundwork to work together. Some of you are a year, 2 years out. That's okay. I don't care. I want to come and talk to you about real estate. And so when the time is right, you look back and go, hey, that McKenna guy was okay. I think I might hire him. I like the opportunity to talk about what I do, friends. And you can reach me directly at 412-613-4466. Call or text me, 412-613-4466. Or visit my website, the lead sponsor, as always, of this here show, Your Personal Realtor, and that's calleric.com. Again, that's calleric.com. Feel free to reach out there or just visit the website and find out a little more about my practice and see if we might be a good fit. I'd love to be your personal realtor. So, as we have not been able to do the past couple weeks, Matt, we're going to engage in a little sports talk.
Yeah.
So right away, I want to know your impressions at this point of the early stages of the Penguins season. What's your thoughts?
They look good. I mean, they're 5-2-1, so I mean that's certainly nothing to sneeze at. But at the same time, they do look like I feel like the chemistry of the team that is now hasn't quite gelled yet.
Okay.
I mean, it's still very good. I mean, you still have guys like Crosby, Malkin, and Kessel that can prove to be very dangerous offensively, and the offense has been the best part of the season so far, particularly on the power play. But I feel like defensively it hasn't quite gelled yet because you watch some of these games and you'll see the Penguins playing very, as Mike Sullivan called the other day, high-risk hockey.
Okay.
Where they'll be pressing to get a goal and then all of a sudden they're giving up chances the other way.
Understood.
So I think that and that's going to happen every once in a while in any game, granted. But I think once that sort of settles down, the Penguins get back to playing, confidently, I think they'll be one of the more dominant teams. But right now, they're doing very well.
Okay. Because I remember they came out of the gate pretty sluggish, and of course, the whole Penguin nation was up in arms.
Yeah. Yeah, when you lose...
Everybody wanted Fleury back.
Yeah. Well, when you lose 10-1, that tends to do things to you.
Yes. But they've seen, now, things have kind of settled down. They're hitting their stride. You think they're going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where the Penguins are. Now, I really want to talk baseball with you.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Because we have the Dodgers in the World Series.
Yes.
And
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very, like I said the other day, we have, a celebrity turned president. We have,
yes.
division in the street. So it makes sense the Dodgers are in the World Series. It's 1988 all over again.
Yeah, that was good. Touche.
Yes.
I just love seeing Joe Madden lose.
That's true.
I don't mind Area. I don't mind their players. I just don't like Joe Madden.
Fair enough.
I don't like who he's kind of become.
Yeah.
I was okay when he was in Tampa. I thought he was generally a pretty nice guy.
Well, again, I think it's all about location.
Yeah, like real estate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it, you sort of saw him as this sort of messiah in Tampa Bay. It's like all these lovable losers, now they're in first place, but then you shift it over to Chicago, it's like all these lovable losers. Excuse me?
Exactly right. It's called payroll, buddy. It's called having a team.
Yes. But the main reason I really want to talk baseball with you is because as both a fan of postseason baseball and a fan of the Pirates, I think we have to acknowledge that the apocalypse is finally happening.
Talk to me.
The Astros last night forced a Game 7.
Yes, they did.
And with a very strong pitching performance by Justin Verlander.
Yes.
So the apocalypse now comes in the form of tonight's pitching matchup.
Yes.
CC Sabathia for the Yankees.
Yes.
And Charlie Morton for the Astros.
To say the Astros are in trouble is probably an understatement.
Just a little bit. Just a little
But you know what? Stranger things have happened.
And that's what scares me.
Stranger things have happened. I mean, would you not agree that CC Sabathia is pitching out of his mind right now?
Of course he is.
Okay, so you know how that works. You know, if there's a research... I remember there was a pitcher named... He was the... How do I say this? He was the very heavy-set pitcher. The A's had him for a while, and he's an older pitcher now. I think he finally retired.
Bartolo Colon?
Bartolo Colon.
No, he's still in it.
He's still playing? Okay.
I think so.
Well, Bartolo has had many stages of success during his career, but late in his year, he had a run for the A's that was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then it ended as quickly as it started. So what I'm saying is CC's end of phenomenal pitching could happen tonight.
Good.
It's so you never really know. Different as opposed to someone like Kershaw, who theoretically has had you kind of know what you're getting there. Even with Arrieta, you kind of know what you're getting there. This could all blow. This could all go horribly wrong. He has a bad first or second inning.
Oh yeah.
And the Astros are at home.
Right.
It could go all horribly wrong for New York.
And I think the momentum's back on their side because they're at home.
7-1.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm an Astros fan tonight. And it's hard for me to be an Astros fan because they play in the AL West. It's hard for me to root for anyone in the AL West, especially the Angels, which I can't, or the Mariners. So you're Astros, okay. I can root for them.
Yeah, because they sort of, are one of those teams where it's like, oh, they're actually in it? Wow.
I know, and they have a couple A's players on there. Now Sonny Gray is pitching for the Yankees, and I've had a hard time being a Yankees rooter, even though Sonny's there. I want him to do well, if it makes any sense. I just don't want the Yankees to do well.
Right, I hear what you're saying.
Which is kind of how do you do that?
Right.
But the last game he pitched, he didn't pitch last night, correct?
No.
But the last game he pitched, he did very well. He gave up no runs to the fifth, and they pulled him after one run, I think.
Yeah.
So he, seems like he's...
Yeah, Severino was in last night.
Yeah. So, good. So I'm rooting, obviously, for the Astros.
I am, too. If I had to put money on it, I would say the Yankees, just because of Sabathia's presence. But I'm not...
You never know.
It's
It's a game 7. They're not home.
Yeah.
They're not home, so it can blow up on them.
Right.
Now, hypothetically, if the Yankees win, and it's the Dodgers, what's your thoughts?
Yankees-Dodgers?
Uh-huh.
I'd say it'd be a very interesting World Series, certainly because you have the tradition of the two going back to the days in Brooklyn. But I would say Dodgers are heavily favored in that series.
Okay, by how many games? When's it end?
I'm gonna say Dodgers in 6.
Okay, I'm kind of right there with you.
Yeah.
Now, what if it's the Astros?
It's the Astros. I at that point I would say I hate to say it because I'd love to see the Astros win one finally, but I would say Dodgers in 7.
I would too, but it could go the other way.
It could.
I think it's going 7. I'm just not. I think LA would win it, but I'm not really certain.
Yeah, because that Houston offense is just so good.
It is, and there's something, I don't know if it's an experience in winning that they're lacking, but you look at that team and there's just something lacking, and I can't put my finger on it. Maybe they'll win the World Series and nothing will be lacking, but to me there's just, and I hope it doesn't show tonight. I hope that Astros can find a way to get to Sabathia early. You get him in the first or second inning, the whole game. Get into. I'd rather have them get into the bullpen, which the bullpen, I guess, tonight will be comprised of everybody.
Right.
This is a game 7.
Yeah.
But this game tonight seems to be the most interesting to me of all of them so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
I mean, this is going to be a good time. Okay. Thank you for talking baseball. And you saved me the suffrage of having to talk about the Pirates because I don't want to talk about the Pirates.
What about Charlie Morton?
No, I don't want to talk about that. Okay, friends, you've listened. I hope you didn't suffer through it. We didn't suffer. We had a great time. But thank you so much for joining us today for 2 solid hours on Your Personal Realtor with Eric McKenna. I'm your humble host, Remax Advanced Realtor, and I encourage you to call me or text me. I can be your personal realtor. That's 412-613-4466, 412-613-4466. Call or text me or visit calleric.com. And until next week, please be good to each other. God bless all of you, and I hope you have a fabulous week. And again, we'll be back here next week on Saturday at 10 o'clock, right after the Sports Slam and the Lead Lap. You're listening to 1230 WBVP. in, let's see, Chippewa and Monaca.
All right, we'll go with that.
All right, and 1460 WMBA in Ambridge and Moon Township. And now it is time for Lincoln Learning Center.
Lincoln Learning Solutions.
Oh, Lincoln Learning Solutions. I'm getting that. After 56 weeks, I'm almost there. Friends, have a great week. Lincoln Learning Solutions. Close enough. Thank you.
Welcome to Frontiers in Learning, a recorded show highlighting local educational opportunities along
All right,
with
that
news and
concludes that.
information concerning local institutions in
I got to rush to an open house.
Content and sponsorship is being
Moon Township.